Come along with us.
Look at the difference between Xaundre's face now than how it was this morning.
This challenge was sent by the devil himself.
You set the challenge. Stop calling the devil upon the challenge.
Remind me why I may do this again.
No man, wake up now man.
Yeah.
Wake up now. Respect on the day. Alright guys, so here's what happened. Last week we were having Bible study and we were convicted that we needed to do something about our health, to build some consistent habits that were helping us with, improving our health. So we decided we're going to have an accountability program where every morning at 5:30 we were going to meet at the top of the street and we're going to go for a walk. We weren't sure exactly how that was going to materialize, but we're 1 week in and I think we're alright. To make sure that we build a consistency, these are the rules. 1, we must commit to it for 2 whole weeks. We're not allowed to miss any days. The only way you can miss a day is if you call in from the night before. You can't wake up on the morning off and decide you don't want to come. If you're sick or whatever, you still have to come out and say good morning and you can go back to sleep if you need to. Thankfully, nobody has had to do that. And also, if you're more than 15 minutes late or you fail to show up without saying from the night before that you have to, not be there, then you have to pay $5,000 to the pooled fund, and the cows have come out to tell us good morning.
The decision was it to come this route this morning?
It was mine.
Was that a good idea?
I'm afraid I call. Any oil call about me now? Any oil call about me?
And the wolf and the lamb shall lie together.
Hey, right now we're hoping that the cow does not take a 360.
So the hardest part, hands down, has been waking up at 5 o'clock. That's just been...
We wake up actually 5:15.
Oh, felt like 4 o'clock if you ask me. It's more like Zara wake up at some point when she hear the alarm and she come in the bed and she's just like, good morning. And I'm just like, oh, do we really have to do this? Yesterday was by far the worst morning for me because I was in OT until 10 o'clock the night before that, but I still had to come because I never called in before. Was good though, builds the consistency, and the team seems to be doing well at the end of week 1.
Yay.
So let's see what next week looks like.
Exactly.
Yeah, because generally there are 2 types of things or 2 ways the Bible describes things. One way is descriptive. One way is descriptive, right? Meaning that the Bible is describing to you something that happened, and it's not saying you do that.
Right.
But another way is prescriptive, where the Bible is saying that this is a principle which is to be followed. You know?
Yeah.
So like in Bible study, you have to switch between if the Bible is describing. Careful. If the Bible is describing something that is not an eternal.
Alright guys, tackling this hill. We get here on the Fabry Mountain. They're not keeping up back there. But we focused on the mission. You understand? Mission, get fit. So guys, if somebody just start walk, everything used to be stressful, you understand?
Yeah,
But what? Is it like a month later or more than a month?
Yeah.
We're now taking on the hills, you understand? So it's all about the practice of faith. I don't know.
I make up an object lesson.
I don't know, I'm going to stretch it out by saying that this is how you have to practice your faith muscles. Because sometimes some things are going to look hard, but then you try it, and you try it again, then you're going to succeed. Well, not necessarily succeed, but more like you'll be so well exercised in the faith that you will always want to push. Understand? Wanna get it?
Faith, level up.
Yeah, level up. So it's like you're not gonna look impossible again. Cause remember when we did see the hill around us, I said, no man, this.
In fact, we started at the shortest hill.
Shortest.
And the shortest hill was like a challenge.
The first couple mornings we never take a no
hill.
Oh, we never take a no hill.
Yeah. Yeah. That is true. And I say your face, and I say, guess that's why material Christians or people who have gone through stuff, it's so easy for them to step out in faith and do some things what people would say crazy.
Yeah. You know, that is so powerful. Yeah. That's so powerful. Like, I've been... I guess
but man wanna tease me. Like him honestly, I drive like him want liquid dog.
Listen blow.
You know, I was reading the story of Gideon.
Oh, by the way, anybody want a house for rent? We could make a public service announcement for Hoshing Reality. What in here? Reality. Alright, big up on yourself, Hoshing. Back to the story at hand.
Yeah, Gideon.
Yeah, I was reading about Gideon. For World Pathfinders Day, they sent out a sermon thing, right?
Oh, okay.
So
which is this week?
For this week, right?
Should I got the stuff me uniform?
Yeah, so I was reading about Gideon, Judges 6 and 7. And I recognized that, first of all, Gideon was cowardly. Because when God found him, he was threshing wheat in a wine press.
Right.
In other words,
They don't want to sermon from Gideon on time.
Yeah, man. Gideon that head down in the hole.
Yes. Yeah, man. But yet God came to him and said that you are a mighty man of valor. Or some other translation say that you are a brave man. But I recognize that
Gideon was so clueless when God said that. Like, you talking about me?
Yeah. And there's another lesson that we definitely have to come back to. Yeah. But I recognize that God was leveling him up throughout the story. So first of all, God said, go tear down your father's altar to Baal. And then Gideon was afraid to do it by day, so he do it by night.
Where go?
This way. He was afraid to do it at daytime, so he do it at night. And then the man them said, go kill him. And then God protect him from that. And then after that, now God said, alright, now go raise an army for Israel. Now we go raise an army 32,000 man. And the army I fight against a whole lot more man.
Yeah.
And God said, you know, too much people for me give you the victory.
Yeah.
And God said, every man who afraid, go back to your house. Tell Gideon to tell them that. And when Gideon tell them that, 22,000 guys got up and went back
to their house.
Right? So I was like, what's the difference between Gideon being fearful and them being fearful? And I recognized that it wasn't so much the fact of the fear as much as it was the willingness. So even though Gideon was fearful, he was still willing to do what God said.
He wasn't crippled by fear.
He wasn't crippled by fear.
So two of them did fear.
Two of them did fear.
Right. But he never gonna make fear stop him.
He never gonna make the fear stop him. Right? So and then the thing about it now is that he was still fearful when the 22,000 went. Because when God boiled it down to 300, he said, alright, I'm going to tell you to go down now to their army and listen to what they're saying. But if you're afraid, take a servant with you.
Wow.
And he took his servant with him.
Who was Gideon? Gideon was
one of the judges.
Them blow the trumpet and everybody drop down.
With the 300 men.
We just provide some context for persons who might not know who
right. Yeah, so Gideon was one of the early judges of Israel. In the book of Judges 6 and 7. Show you that's how, you know,
exercising your faith.
Faith doesn't necessarily mean that no fear is present at all. It means that you have the courage to overcome the fears that are there.
Whoa! Me
kind of distracted.
Oh, wait, that looks fun.
Me that try to figure out how to not drop and speed up at the same time because I kind of walk fast.
Sorry.
Rolling camera, you
sorry.
understand?
Sorry, I understand.
You have to understand the level up now, you know, Xaundre.
Hold on, guys, me could add some context to this, right? This conversation was not made up for the vlog.
No.
Every morning we come out here, Danny I try survive the walk. Zara try pretend like she survived the walk. Raheem glad for the company, so I'm telling Bible story them. And me just glad for the people. But then I've been absent for so long that Danny and Zara now become pros at this walking thing. Them can even walk and talk. But guess who them left with the camera? Me, the one who never did that come. And me really master the walking thing, you understand? By the way, we're making a plug for Advent Fellowship, Blue Mountain Hike.
And Singspiration.
And Singspiration.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, well, if you're coming on the hike, we'll see you.
We might not be at Inspiration.
We may or may not get to come to Inspiration, but we'll certainly watch the live stream if we're not there in person.
Yep.
When is Blue Mountain hike again?
The 16th of October.
16th of October. So call this training for the hike.
Alright, see.
But I mean, you can't really train for the hike if I'm being honest. You just gotta go.
Well, we're not sure for the 16th, but whenever Heroes Weekend, that's the weekend, I think.
Heroes Weekend, Blue Mountain hike.
Yeah.
See you there at the foot of Jacob's Ladder. If you know, you know.
You tell us that we not do the Mavis Bank thing again. No. One time too much.
Once in a lifetime experience.
No, I've done it 3 times.
I've done it 5 times and I'm going to do it again.
Don't try to do it again. The lady look familiar.
No.
You so see where leader.
Then it will fit.
You can do it, picture, man.
We can do it.
Believe me, no? Yeah, let's do it.
Me can't run up.
Run up, babe. Run up. Run up. Show them. You put them bend up like. Hey, you should drop your roll. Come right back down inside. Yes, babe. Go, babe. Go. Good job. High five. Guys, she made it up the hill. And she ran up the hill too, you know. I'm proud of her.
Gold medal. Woo. Tired now though.
You have to be your biggest fan. And when things are really tough and they're really rough and nothing's working, but there's something inside of you that says, I just have to follow that. Because you don't know who you're going to be.
Tastes good. Anybody want a piece?
Really sweet.
It's sweet?
It's sweet, yeah, we get one.
Because you get out of control. Here he goes again. What's this one's on? Is on Eastbury again?
Guys, look how that guinea tree are loaded.
I've
I've
never noticed that was
That's not my best angle. Good job.
Anyway, guys, big up on yourself. We're gonna go and get ready and go to the people in work.
So, thank you for joining us on this episode of Adventures of XYZ
and Ray Mandini.
Bye, guys. Oh,